bit all the time, then the satiety part will be taken care of. If there is an eating association that you have to address, then you do have to address that at one point in time or another, especially if you're failing. But if you're not failing, it's okay to have a crave and satisfy a crave once a week. Not a problem. Don't feel guilty for that.
With any kind of addiction or craving, it's multifactorial. So it's not just one thing. An addiction has a physical component, an emotional component, a psychological component. It could be tied. There's so many different ways you could go. It could be tied to fatigue. It could be tied to past experiences. It could be tied to sounds. It could be tied to smells. So it's hard to pinpoint, one simple answer for that. Generally, what we see, sugar cravings is the most common. We'll see sugar cravings, and oddly enough, when you get people off of sugar, they stop craving it. So when we clean up their diet, they'll typically stop craving it. Also, I think if, like what we were talking about before, if you're deficient in a nutrient, the brain will tell you, go get food. So if you're dehydrated, it says go get something. It doesn't say specifically go drink water. If you're short in essential fatty acids, it won't say go eat avocados. Your brain will just tell you you're hungry. So then when we're hungry, I know if my brain tells me I'm hungry, I'm going to go to something. I'm going to go to potato chips, right? No, we don't go to broccoli. Brain never says you're hungry, go to broccoli. I don't have a relationship with shoestring potatoes, so my brain never makes that association.
I put the portion plate. I know it's tacky, but it's portion control too. You have to know portions. You don't have to know when to quit. There's a saying in Japanese. I have a good friend from Okinawa who also did the fellowship, and it's I think he pronounced it hari hachibu. It's stopping eating when you're 7/10 full. When you know, like Thanksgiving, you know you're about full, it's getting tight, you stop immediately. There's time out, you stop. Versus continuing to engorge and engorge, which is one of the problems with waiting till the last minute to eat anything. When you have the series of hormones that are released that you are starving, even though you're not starving, but if you're driving home, you're stuck in traffic or there's snow and it's an hour instead of 10 minutes, and you said, I'll wait till I get home before you called up your spouse, and suddenly it's an hour, you're starving, your brain is starting to secrete hunting hormones, cortisol. When you get home, that one plate that you have will not be enough. Even if you're full and your belt is tight, your brain will say starvation an hour ago, continue to eat more. Even if you don't want it, you'll hunt for it. That's the idea about eating on a regular basis and eating good foods. Eating foods or having snacks in the car with your, or I call it a go bag.